Hello, everybody. Welcome to Oche Kitchen Discussions, Season 5.
Yeah.
We made it. Thank you, everybody, once again for joining. Before we start, I want to say thank you, everybody, for supporting us through the season, all the seasons, and we're in Season 5, and we're doing so well. And we're going to be introducing new segments to our show. So before every host asks the questions, so we're going to give a tip. Mine is going to be a nutri tips because I'm a dietitian, okay? So the tip of today is 17 benefits of drinking water. Water supports heart health. It improves your circulation. It increases waste removal. It flushes out toxins. It helps with nutrient absorption. It increases energy and alertness. It supports weight healthy loss. It improves complexion. Okay. Supports muscle buildup. So enhances brain function. It boosts immune system. It prevents headaches. It prevents kidney stones. It prevents cramps. Supports joints. Prevents backaches. Prevents bad breath. So what am I saying? You say everybody try and drink water a day. I think the recommendation is 2 pounds to one cup of water. So if you're like maybe 150 pounds, you divide it into two, at least you need 70 ounces of water. So yeah, 70 ounces of water. So please try as much as possible to drink water. Water is good for your health. And before I go into the topic of the day, for the Christian viewers, tomorrow is Easter. So we say Happy Easter, everybody. To the Jewish viewers, we say Happy Passover. So I'm not sure if there's like Muslim, if there's any holiday going on right now for them. So the topic of today is
Muslims are fasting.
Ramadan.
Yeah,
oh, Ramadan.
So
Ramadan. Yeah.
Yeah.
So to our Muslim viewers, Happy Ramadan. I hope I said it right. Yeah. Thank you, guys. The topic
Ramadan
of today
Kareem.
is
Ramadan Kareem.
Okay, Ramadan Kareem. Thanks for letting me know. The topic for today is dressing all up to choose chaos. So why did we say this? When we were on break, a couple of things happened. The first was the Bianca and the Obiano lady, the slap that happened, which subsequent videos shows that Bianca did not slap. I don't know which one is the truth, but the one the whole world saw live on TV is the recent one that happened with the Oscars. So between Will Smith and Chris Rock. So recently, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock on the Oscar stage for making a joke about his wife's baldness. Chris Rock, presented the Best Documentary Prize with a short comedy routine, had cracked a joke comparing Jada Pinkett Smith's cropped hair to Demi Moore's appearance in the film G.I. Jane, and suggesting she appear in a sequel. Will wasn't having it. Keep my wife's name out your effing mouth, he yelled. Trust the swift word of social media. People already have a lot to say about whether or not Chris or Will was right. Now, here's the thing. Jada has been open about living with alopecia and how it's been a terrifying experience for her. Naturally, she did not find Chris Rock's joke to be funny at all. Still, a lot of people have condemned the act, saying there was absolutely no need for Will Smith to resort to violence at an award show as big as the Oscars. Can you guys admit people? As big as the Oscars. In fact, there's no justifiable reason to hit anyone, award show or not. They also say that Will, who won the Best Actor category for his role in King Richard, took the focus away from the biggest moment of his career because of his action. Now the world is talking about how he slapped Chris Rock instead of focusing on the award he won. People also say that Chris Rock is a comedian, and in shows like the Oscars, anyone can be made the focus of his jokes. On the contrary, some people are saying, look, I'd do the same thing to if someone made such a joke about my wife. They not only support the slap meted out on Chris by Will, but they also believe that it's been long coming and Chris deserves it. Yes, Chris is a comedian, but we should all be careful about turning people's health conditions into jokes. It has become a case of if you talk waiting past your mouth about other people, no vex when they decide to clear you. Listen, let's not pretend that as humans, we do not sometimes get violent or physical when we're enraged at something or a situation. It's human nature, but But if we support Will's action, are we saying that it's now cool to respond to what we consider as verbal insults with physical punches? If that's the case, doesn't that make everything else justifiable? People beating or maiming others for saying stuff about their religion or tribe. People hitting one another in places like Lagos where everyone defects. On the other hand, we live in a world where we are trying so hard not to condone violence in any form. But if with the hashtag arrest Will Smith, people are asking Will to do time, does it mean we do not give room for people to err? That is if, of course, we see what he's done as an offense. We're not asking you to pick sides. But the question of the day from me, would you have handled that situation if you were Will? What would you do if you were Chris? So let me go to Faith. Yeah, I see you raising your hands here. You're on mute, Faith. You're on mute.
Good. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
The question is, what would you have? How would you have handled that situation if you were Will? And what would you do if you were Chris? Thank you.
Okay, fine. Okay, now let me start with Chris, okay, and go back to him. Chris, he acted maturely after the reaction of Will. I mean, slapping. It's not easy for a man. It's not easy for a man not to react. It's been slapped.
Exactly.
I mean, that guy, sincerely, he held it. He held it. It's not easy. Then come to Will Smith. For me, see, nobody will like it, man. Someone insults your wife. That's an insult to your wife. Jokes or no jokes. I mean, I have a wife, and I can see she's not happy about it. I mean, I'm just, you said something, comment about her to crack joke. She's not happy about it. That's an insult. Now, I'll feel very, very bad. But sincerely, Will overreacted by going up there to slap him.
Very true.
I would mad, I mean, we're humans. Why are you cracking jokes, about my wife, insulting, but he overreacted. That's what I would say. You know what? I don't know how I'll react, sincerely, because I'll be mad. I'm going to be mad. You understand? So that's what I would say. There was an incident of Two-Face 5 or 6 years ago, in Lagos. He was with his wife. The comedian was making jokes about Two-Face having babies, a football team. Sincerely, go on YouTube and watch it. Two-Face was very mad. And the wife had to shut him in his mouth. The guy was shouting from the crowd there to the comedian. Wow. Everybody had him. So
I never heard about it. If somebody did hear about it,
go on YouTube. Go and watch it. Nothing. Just there was a comedy show. The wife had to hold his mouth. I watched it. I was like, wow. Two-Face was shouting.
I'm having goosebumps.
Yeah, cool. You know what I mean? So we're humans. You can't. You are even insulting him. He's feeling bad. Talk less of his wife. So he overreacted, but standing up to one and slap. No, it's tough. But I mean, for me, I'll be mad. Yeah. Simple. And that guy tried. What's his name? The
Chris Rock. I'm telling you, for you to slap a black man and walk away.
Well, walk away.
My shoes would have been off. Bow was I? Yeah. So I doff my hat to him. Yeah.
But the guy tried to hold it back.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
That's it. Simple. That's my opinion.
Right. Thank you so much. Okay, so let me go to the ladies. Mama, what you think? What would you have done if you were Chris, and what would you have done if you were would you have done what Will did, and what would you have done if you were Chris?
Yeah, okay. Me being me, I can be very careless with when I'm making a jest. My friends know that.
Your whole color combination is so nice. I have to say this.
Yeah. So when I am making jokes and I think, provided I know I don't have any ill intention, but again, that is me, what I think. What the other person thinks is different and up to them. Different. Being Chris, I still applaud Chris's reaction.
Of course.
Anytime, any day. Mm-hmm. I never had time for his jokes. I watched from here and then, but since then, I've been checking up on him.
Yeah.
So I give it to him. If he's watching this anyway, someone that knows him, tell him that he did well.
He's watching. He's watching. He's watching from LA.
that self-control was perfect.
Yes.
Even if he got it wrong, and which again, fine. Within his decency, he has made a public apology. If this offended you, But I asked IJ, because I don't know that program, right? I asked her, please tell me in your American world, what is this about? So I needed to understand what exactly was offensive in that comment. Even if as I'm sitting here, nothing.
Yeah.
I'm coming from a family of comedians who are quite open to the public. We know everything about them. We know the ones we consider private, we know it about them. So picking on that, then only God knows if there was anything behind that or has happened. Will Smith, I've always liked, but
I love him.
Yeah, but that behavior was just out of place. But my final statement on this is what we know, Chris Rock, comedian, Chris Way, actor, that is just the title.
He's a comedian too. Will Smith is a comedian. That's why they
I know.
Yeah.
It's a title of based on what they do, because he acts film on, he's always doing comedy shows. His personality is different from that title. So he just showed who he is. And that's my conclusion in all these behaviors that's been coming up these days. Those are just job titles, or those are what we know about them, but they are who they are. It's all coming out. And I don't make excuses for lack of self-control. That's me done on that.
All right.
Thank you.
Let me go to Benson. Benson, can you chime in? Benson, can you chime in?
I just want.
I said Benson, chime in.
I just want.
Go on,
I just want to ask. I'm here. I just want to ask you a question. This story is that you insulted the wife. Now, if you insulted the wife, if you insulted the wife, what do you think the reaction will be from the wife's end? What do you think?
That's why the question was without judgment. You don't have to judge, because there are two sides of the story. I understand that, like Ifeoma said, Jada and Will, they've been very open about life and everything. So, and everybody knows about Jada's, you know what I mean? Jada is very open about what, huh?
Can I ask Benson a question? Sorry.
Yeah, let me answer Benson first, then I'll come to you. So I understand that it was offensive because it's a medical condition for Jada. It's not like that she shaved her hair. Like a couple years ago, I shaved my hair. You know, somebody can make a joke about that. But if your hair loss is because of a medical condition, I understand the sensitiveness. But even at that, like me, I said, I love Will. I love Will Smith. Trust me, he's my husband in my head. But I think he overreacted. You know, he overreacted because Will is a comedian too. Will is a comedian too. So yeah.
Okay, I agree with you. But what do you think the pressure from the wife would have been if he didn't react that way?
A couple of weeks ago, the wife actually said she thought that she wished, her statement was that I wished Will didn't go up there to slap Chris. I mean, yeah. So apparently she thinks that the husband overreacted to, you know. So
okay.
All right, Faith. Faith, go ahead.
My brother don't.
Faith, go ahead. After Faith, then Easy. Hi, Easy. Welcome to the show.
Faith, can you go on? Can I do what?
No, you wanted to chime in. You wanted to ask Benson a question.
Yeah, Benson, I asked a question. Benson said, what was his wife's reaction when she was insulted? Now, I want to ask, when someone insults your wife, is that not an insult to the husband?
Very true.
It's an insult to the husband. It's an insult to the husband. That's all. If you insult a man and he has a wife, you are automatically insulting the wife too, because you are insulting the wife. You are one. Okay, that's all. Okay.
Easy, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm okay. You've answered it. So
no, Easy.
Like for me, like
Easy was raising his hand.
Go ahead. No, Easy was greeting. Easy was telling you that he's in. So, but for me, maybe what he did, I will do if I know that one, whatever that is wrong with my wife is a medical condition. Don't use that medical condition. You could joke about any other thing about her. I will understand it as a joke. But on the issue of attacking anything that has to do with her medical condition, maybe I will react the same way.
Yeah.
Will react the same way because you're only trying to tell me
you're only trying to tell me, oh, look at your wife is this. No. If you had said, okay, that my wife's one other hand is longer than the other hand, and I know my wife's hand is no longer than the other one, I'll just take it as a joke, but not as something that is so serious as that in their life. Yeah.
I get that, but I still think you're overreacting.
For me, I may react the same way, but somehow, that's why I asked the question I asked. Somehow, Wills might not want to react that way, but you people understand more, because maybe when the man gets home, the pressure on him will be, oh, your fellow man had the audacity to be on the stage to insult me, and you couldn't do nothing. It will be hell for that man.
IJ, before someone takes the question again, let me just say something. Ben, you know about what the wife thinks. If we really have the time and wanted to go into this, it would have been lovely if we had the time to pick it out and see if there was an insult in that comment.
It's a sensitive comment because it's a medical condition. Like I said, you know what I mean? So everybody takes jokes. Everybody can take things different. Like me, I have a disabled son. Any joke about disability, I don't laugh to it. Because you know what I mean? I don't want anybody to laugh about my son. You know what I mean? So it might not even be about paralysis. It might be about somebody being retarded. But so far as a disabled person's joke, since it happened to me for 22 years, you cannot see me before. If I'm watching comedy show or watching, they call somebody Apoda retarded, I will laugh. But since it came into my life, I will never, because I know how it feels. So that's why the question came without judgment. You know what I mean? Because you have to always try to see other people's, like I will not do what Chris did. I love Will more than Chris. But you see, as Chris, Will slaps Chris. If I'm Chris, I'll slap back, because that is who I am. I know me, especially that he slapped Chris and thought, oh gosh, my fingers, my shoes, everything is coming up. That award will end that day, because I know who I am. You know what I mean? I don't tolerate. I'm ZT. I have zero tolerance to somebody hitting me. You could say anything, I can take it, because my mouth is sharp too. I can throw it back. But once you push me, touch me, pull a belt or trust me, I'm very reactive to violence. So I don't like it. You can say anything, but don't touch me. So everybody's different. So you know what I mean? At times that's why you don't judge people till you walk in their shoes, because if you can live in somebody's shoes for one day, you understand the pain they go through. So I think my time is up. Let me hand over to Oche.
Oche? Why didn't you ask Oche she will fight?
Oche? I'm trying to keep to time, so all the questions will still intertwine.
No, we know the answer. She will cry instead.
Oh, she'll be on the floor.
I'm not even going to indulge you girls on that one.
No, indulge it for not me. I did say it. Is it for one?
Okay. Mom, I'm
mad love for you. Is it for one that hates you?
Okay.
Okay, guys. Hello, everyone. It's good to be back on season 5. And coming back to season 5, I found out that I've been named the Chief Love Officer of Oche Kitchen.
Yes! Because the mama doesn't have love in her heart.
I'm learning.
So based on that, I will be sharing some moments before my own part in every show. And for today, mine is a reminder that friendship is work and love is hard work. So if you are close to someone in a relationship, whatever it is you guys have, don't assume that because you are crazy about each other, that your relationship is automatically rock solid and that it's going to last forever. Don't make that assumption. The truth is that relationships last only as long as you are both willing to put in the effort, not one-sided, from both ends.
Very true.
And you also have to hold forth for each other and remain loyal to each other. If you claim you love someone, let your loyalty be so obvious that it is not deniable. Your loyalty should be glaring. For me, I choose loyalty over love because people do all sorts of things to people they love. But when you're loyal to someone, there are things you don't do. So that takes us to question number 2 on the show. How would you react to the consequences putting yourself in the victim's shoes with social media influence? So if you were Chris, how would you have reacted, considering the fact that social media was going to blow this in the open? Or if you were Bianca was mentioned initially. We all know that Bianca was a victim because she was sitting jejely on her seat.
Yeah, I think she's both. Because she reacted, which is me.
From my own point of view, Bianca was the victim because she was on her own when the flamingo.
Yeah, so I'm not flamingo. That's a good one.
So I don't know if Edna is here. Edna, I would like to hear from you. What would you have done being the victim?
Okay, listen, I'm just walking down, so that is where I do myself mute and all. So I think I can contribute later. So
okay, that's fine. You could also tell us your views in the chat box.
Yeah, and
we'll
Edna, thank you so much for joining.
No worries.
Thank you for joining, Edna.
Thank you.
Okay, myself. I don't know who myself is, but myself, would you like to take the question for me?
Me, myself.
And I. Okay, if myself is not forthcoming.
Repeat.
Fred.
Yeah, good evening.
Okay.
Very interesting topic. Good evening.
Hi, welcome to the show.
Yeah, I've been on as a silent listener. You know, I abhor violence first.
Exactly.
I think there's nothing that will come across an adult that will come verbally address. That's my position on everything. Will could have done well. Like the question was, if you're in crisis phase, what would you have done? Yeah. That's addressing everything. But I'd like to think Will and the wife were the victims in that situation. So put myself in Will's shoes, not in Chris's shoes. I probably would have said something back to Chris to say, guy, you don't have to go down this route. And I would have made it look very stupid with my reaction. And that would have been it. So going physical was going overboard. I'm not one to go physical on any issue. Fine. He could have stood up for his wife in a verbal way, not in a physical way. So that's my take.
Okay, thank you very much. I agree with you. If Will had shouted back from his seat, believe you me, the whole world would have been on his side.
Of course.
There wouldn't have been any questions at all. For example, somebody like me, I didn't even know the Grammys happened until I heard about the slap. It was a slap that told, honestly, everything I learned about that slap and about Will and his wife. Yeah, were things that came to me. I didn't go searching for them. Things I unwillingly learned. Details that I wasn't interested in. You understand? Because from this slap, we started seeing letters that was written to Tupac and stuff like that. You know, things that didn't even have any bearing. You want to say something still?
Yeah, like in life, I've learned that you can actually make people look small by things you say to them, not by attempting to keep them up. Understand? Saying something very, maybe humorous, but at the same time, very condescending in response to Chris's verbal attack on his wife would have made more sense in the circumstance. And I'm sure that would have gone down in the annals of social media for long years to come and say, like the Bianca influence, for instance, we'll talk about two scenarios. I know Bianca is now being used as a metaphor
Mimi, she's a meme or meme, whatever they call it. Yeah, meme.
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 Ojure Mogo.
Ojure Mogo one.
You like Abu Bianca.
Even if she has blonde hair.
So Bianca as a name is not come up for. So different kinds of responses. There's the Bianca response, there's the Bill response. But then again, I think in both cases, two of them could have risen above board and used the vote instead. So that's
I agree with you. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Easy, you wanted to say something.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Easy.
Hello.
Hey, Easy.
Hey, hello.
Okay. So Easy, go ahead.
Oh, the question.
Yes. Okay, yes. I just wanted to kind of remind people how this supposed live shows work. Are you aware that this they do rehearsals?
Oh dear.
But actually go on stage.
Yeah, that's true. No, but that's true.
Will was aware of the joke, but they had already performed it backstage.
No.
So everything that you see was all staged.
No, it's
so
not.
Will knew the question. I mean, Will knew the joke Chris was making. He actually initially laughed at it because that was what the rehearsal was. But when Madame looked at one kind, he realized, oh, I gotta do something because my couch I could sleep for the next 5 years. And that's why because Will tell you, if you were to talk to him, because I spoke to him last week, he would tell you that like he knew he overreacted because he knew the joke. He knew what the joke was, and he would have actually told Jaden the joke. But then he had to laugh, and unfortunately he had to now take it a different turn, which I'm sure he regrets. I mean, obviously, if somebody...
I have to answer you. First of all, the rehearsals are done for the presenters. Will was never a presenter. Chris Rock was a presenter, and that G.I. Joe joke wasn't part of what he was supposed to present. Why? Because nobody knew if Jada was going to wear a wig or not.
Yes.
So nobody knew whether Chris Will did not know about it.
No,
Will, can you mute yourself, please?
If you do the research,
Chris didn't know if Jada was coming there bald headed or Joe, because women change their hair every time. Yeah. So you can see me bald today. You can see me 7 p.m. today. You can still see me with a wig on. So nobody knew what Jada was going to wear today. I watched show. So Will wasn't aware of it. So
IJ, whether you are bald or you get hair or not, the same attraction will still be there. So no matter how you come. So that's another thing. But realistically, yeah,
no, that's the wrong information.
The Hollywood people, they normally do this because especially if you're going to joke about another celebrity's partner, they will actually go through with the joke with you first. And if because remember the whole world is watching, and Will thought it was okay. It was a joke. I mean, people do some silly jokes. You understand? But it either goes two ways.
But it wasn't part of the joke. It wasn't part of his presentation. It was not.
It was.
Chris just came out, saw her that you bought, see, and said it, because comedians do that at times.
No, but not if it's their own show. If it's their own show, yes, they can come up, they can improvise. But for the Grammys, they have to follow script.
They do improvise. They do.
Well, for Grammys,
they do. Yeah.
So easy.
It's an impromptu. You can make an impromptu joke. You're a comedian.
Hang on.
No, you're not allowed to do that.
I said earlier, I didn't even know that the Grammys was happening that night until that slap happened. So whether it was a publicity stunt or not, that does not concern Oche Kitchen.
It can't be a publicity stunt because Will has lost so many. All his movies are
I need you to tell me what you think. Who was the victim for you? Was it Chris or was it Will and his wife? And how would you react to the
Chris
consequences?
Was the victim.
Okay, so if Chris was the victim, in your own opinion, how would you have reacted? Based on what social media would have done?
No, I mean, I acted the way Chris acted. Just look at the idiot and say, "You're really an idiot," because
Review.
we rehearsed this.
Proud of you.
Yeah, but I mean, because we are talking about this, if man slapped me, my dear, get as a bitch. But hey, to be the man now, Chris is now the champion because he reacted the way a man should react.
Exactly.
I had all his tickets sold.
Yes.
Tickets sold. Shaggy.
Yeah, he's the man because for you to slap a white
man, go slap you. Easier go slap you. Easier go slap
me. I will just smile. I go smile and I go.
Okay, thank you.
To the show. Now publicity stunt.
Okay. Okay, that's your own take, Easy. Who goes? Can we hear from you? Hello, who goes?
Some people are having internet issues. They keep coming.
Yeah, I noticed. Doyin has been struggling to connect.
She actually sent me a message and said she was going to restart her phone. So I think
it's not only her. So many people.
The networks are rioting this evening.
Yeah, I think so.
Then the verse, no be slap matter when they talk about.
Okay, who goes is on okay to talk? Who goes? Who can we hear from you?
From your whole color is messing with my eyes.
Hello,
hello, who goes?
Yes, I've been trying to connect. Anyway, the subject of discussion is one that I don't have expertise in. I have just been listening.
So you've never been Bianca and you have not Bianca anyone?
Well, in certain occasions, I have been Bianca. But that was the opposite sex.
So did you Biancaize or not?
So no, he couldn't have been able to do anything.
So there's nothing I did in my usual manner. Even a lot of people will find it difficult that I didn't do anything, or I didn't react.
You were being a gentleman.
Most people don't know me as a gentleman.
Oh yeah.
Who goes? Can I
look at Oche trying to beef Hugo's up. Hugo's everywhere.
Exactly. Who goes?
Yes, sir.
Just assume, right? You're in a dream. Yeah. Assume you're the victim in this case. Either way, whether Chris or Rock or whoever. Assuming you're the victim, how would you react differently considering the world of social media today?
I don't know the story of Chris or whatever. I know the story of Bianca, but that of Will Smith and Chris, I don't know about it. I'm not ready.
Okay, use Ifeoma is trying to tell you what Ifeoma is trying to tell you is that because of the Bianca and the Ebele slap thing, right? It's all over social media. So assuming like you were the one that was slapped, and the humiliation is all over social media, how will you feel? How will you take it up? Like, Abia, like big events, IMSU alumni convention. I cannot even know about I can't So knowing that people will share it all over the world, how would you feel?
How was arrested?
Yeah, so that's what they are asking. Ifeoma is asking you. Right, Mama?
Well, what I would do is whenever I'm in the public, I try to hold my temperament. I may not react.
No, we're talking about social media. It's going to be all over social media. Like, how are you going to feel?
There's nothing I would do now. I wouldn't go to the social media to defend myself. Okay, maybe I will have to put up 1 or 2 messages to clear the air, to set the record straight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's
the most I can do,
as a victim. But the funny thing is, some people consider.
But when I find out that you have been consistently looking for my trouble, you go here, Ramo.
Okay. Like I was saying, some people consider that Will Smith and his wife were the victims, okay? While others feel that it's a 50-50 thing. So depending on who you consider to be the victim in this case. iPhone 13 Pro Max. I don't know if you're there, if you would like to say something. That should be my last.
Who did you call?
Ferdinand, iPhone 13 Pro Max. I don't know. Okay, Nonya.
Try to call people who are on video so we can see them.
Yeah, but some would like to come in and not put on their videos. Benson's video is not on.
He was on when he was called.
Okay. So.
Hello. Oh, Neka. Oh, great. Good girl.
Neka, get one.
She's on transit with the kids.
Okay.
If oh my God, this so.
Do you want to answer the question? Oh, okay.
Neka doesn't know the question. And Mama, I'm handing over to
Hello.
you. Okay.
Oh. Hello.
Yeah, can you talk, Neka? Can you talk where you are?
Yeah, I know McDonald. Oh my God, they're so.
All right, so let's go to the next question.
Can you hear me?
We can, yeah.
Yes,
well,
we can
We have a question we're asking. Enjoy your meal. Go ahead. Mama, go ahead.
Okay. So, like I've always done, smile. And I found out, I think when I started smiling a lot, it's when I found out that a smile costs nothing but gives much.
Exactly.
And it actually enriches those that give it than those who receive. So,
is it me or anybody see Mama's thing is or is it from my
It's
end?
frozen.
Okay. Right.
You've been watching.
Mama is frozen. I think the London weather has frozen her network.
Okay.
At least it's not Nigerian network. Nobody is yabbing Niger network.
we didn't have Niger network. Oh. All right. So when Ifeoma comes back.
Nigeria, we're doing very fine connecting him today. So
okay.
Let's yap them. Okay.
Abio, yes. Let's yap them.
Oche, do you want to ask one more person your question while we wait for Ifeoma?
Hello, I'm back.
Oh, you're back. Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay.
I don't know what happened, but I'm back. Can you hear me? Yeah, I'm
back.
Yeah, I just went off. So my question
I think
is,
somebody slapped you and your internet went off.
And I'll smile if you do that.
Come to you?
Whatever reaction. Yeah.
Maybe somebody slapped her husband and she was reacting.
Ah, okay.
Hold it on to that. Hold it on to that. If whatever the reaction is, as we've described, if it was at your job, this is when we talk about job, journey of the broke, something that pays the bill.
Yes.
Would you still react the same way, knowing that there's a consequence, or even you could be fired for such reaction? Would you do it? Ben said no way. I had no way. Ben, did I read your lips right? You're mute. I can hear you.
There are job policies. Rather, what you could do is to escalate it to the higher ups, but you can't do anything. You can't react.
So you wouldn't react even though someone insults your wife at work, because I know you took it very strongly or personal about.
Yeah, I will not react then because there are work policies.
He wants his money,
like
paper.
So work will stop you from reacting.
Yes, it will stop you because part of the policies you signed is that you're not going to do such things. But if you have such things your way, is to escalate it. And the other thing we advise people, because I'm in a committee that does that, we tell you to walk away and escalate it to the higher ups. You cannot. If you do it, yes, you are trying to defend yourself. You are gone.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody will see to listen whether it's insulting your wife or not. You are gone.
Exactly. Yeah, it's true.
So Ben, let me probe you further on that answer, because with the first question, you were very passionate about insulting this wife.
Yeah,
so
you
because
can't
of
insult.
work,
You
because
can't
of work
insult.
policy,
Yeah, that
you will
is
not.
work
You will.
policy.
You would swallow that insult for your wife and escalate
Okay,
it.
now, for the work policy is a closer group, is a very close group.
Mm.
Your work might not be more than 50 persons. Maybe out of that 50 persons, it might be only 3 or 4 people that will know about that. But this other one is a world stage something.
So it's a
world
social media
stage,
thing. Yeah, okay.
Yes, but if it's in your workplace, it might just be 3, 4 people that might know about that. It didn't get to the other people, so you can't try it at work. Yes, in as far as, yes, like I said, you cannot, because of something that has to do with the health of anyone I love or close to me, and you bring it up in the social media, I might react differently. But if it's at my job, I will not react the same way. Because the job now is now like molding you the way to react on such issues.
Okay, so okay, let me leave you for now. Maybe when I speak later, I'll leave it for now. I can argue it. I can argue it as the kingdom come. Yeah, because if you choose where to behave and where not to behave, then I have a problem with that. So I want standard behavior.
No, go ahead. But I'm telling you the way the work.
But can people have standard behavior? It's not possible. The way you behave at home is different.
When I say standard behavior is who you are, your makeup, who you are. If you're not somebody that reacts, you don't react. It doesn't matter where. If somebody that reacts, they can react at work.
But if remember,
but you know, some men don't react to women. Some men don't react to women, but if it's a fellow man, they will buzzer.
You know that if I don't react, and I come back and lose my job and tell you that because I fought for you at my job today, I was fired, you will tell me that I am stupid. Why didn't
one time I'll call you Anohia. Are you okay?
Let me come in on the job.
Okay, yeah, Ufoma, go ahead.
Yeah, because I think if you're looking at the Chris and Will Smith thing, on the day of the awards, Will Smith was a guest or was a recipient of an award, so he wasn't like a paid host that day. On the other hand, Chris was working. So on a professional note, Chris's reaction was
excellent,
expected, in line with what was paid for that day. If he had done anything contrary to the way he reacted to that slap, of course, there would have been a huge price to pay. There would have been breaches of contract and all of that. On the other hand, Will Smith wasn't being paid to attend the show. But given the circumstances and then consequences as a fallout to him slapping Chris now, bringing what the last speaker just said, he's been suspended from the academy for 10 years.
And he resigned himself,
No, he resigned, but
from voting.
The suspension was coming. So he was preempting the suspension by resigning, but that didn't stop the suspension from still being slammed on him. So the question we'll ask ourselves.
And then 5 of his movies are on hold. He has 5 projects all on hold.
Good.
Okay. So
price to pay.
Huge price to pay, if you ask me. For just one slap. So let's
I like that. Just one
bring
slap.
it down to the ladies. Would you rather have your man slap just one expensive slap that will cost him this much, or let him just ride? As in, if the worst case scenario is he goes on a verbal onslaught to address the person who's probably insulting the wife.
My brother, I like your question. Let the ladies answer that.
Which of the ladies are you asking, bro?
All of them. Let them answer.
If I may go first, like I said, I don't like violence. I use my mouth can destroy more than my fingers can. So I think like I said, I love Will Smith even till today. He's my husband in my head, but I don't support, like, you know what I mean? I think he went too far. I understand his anger, I understand whatever they're going through, but I think he should have, gone up to slap. If he had did what Kanye did, maybe go up to the stage and take the mic from and say something to Chris, yeah, I would have been all up for him. But the slap, I didn't like. So for me, no.
So for me, yes, I would not allow that slap. I wouldn't even let you get up.
Exactly.
I wouldn't even
But she didn't know. She didn't know. I don't blame it on Jada.
No, Jada, I'm telling you, when you get up to walk, when you start walking, I'll walk with you. I'll draw you back. I will definitely. Both of us will go there.
Ladies, let me say something here. Huh?
No, Will Smith is a goofy person, so everybody thought he was just going to do something goofy, stupid. You know, he's very stupid and goofy. Yeah, he is. He's goofy.
So the slap is equally a goofy.
A goofy one.
To him.
No, that's violence. That's violence.
Look, Jada at that point expected Will to stand up to defend her the way he did. If she's saying she didn't expect him to react that way now, is giving the benefit of hindsight and realizing the consequences that came as a result of the slap. But on the spot, if you have seen that, the way she looked at him, guy, are you just going to sit on your...
Yeah.
She spoke with her eyes to him.
She rolled her eyes at the joke, but I don't blame her.
Initially, he laughed.
He laughed initially, but when he turned around and looked at his wife, that was when
I saw that she was wearing a scold on her face.
So there are some ways women, you have effective ways of communicating without even saying a word.
Saying pimp.
Well, your message, but sometimes when people try to good us.
All right. Ifeoma, okay, Ifeoma is still on. Okay, is your question?
Yeah, I'm still on, yeah. Now I'm just thinking about what Ben said. If you want to behave yourself because you know there's policies around work, but you wouldn't exhibit such behavior when you're outside work, what does that mean? What does that make you?
If I may answer, many people don't play with their money. You know what I mean? Some people, like, their temper, they can't contain it anywhere. But many people contain it because they don't want to. Because we live in a world that if you can't make a living, you can't, you know what I mean? How are you supposed to pay your bills if you have kids and everything? So many people tend to control their tempers at work, but if they're in a bar or whatever, that the consequences might be, call police, they go to jail that night and somebody bail them out, they'll put up a fight. But if it's a work where they know, they might be fired, you know what I mean? And
there
if it's a job with good benefits, you behave, Yeah, but because you can be walking on the street
I had this conversation with a parent about children and their behavior. Yeah, so I had a conversation with a parent about children and behavior. And I was telling her categorically that these children are very unruly at home, that they don't exhibit that behavior at work. Their boss will say, yes.
At work or school?
When they're of age.
Grown, older kids.
Yeah, they could speak to their parents the way they like and say no and yes, but when they could go back to work, they conduct themselves. Yeah, which is a problem. So
like union people here, very unruly. Union workers, yes, most especially
even at work.
Oh yes, you write them up, suspend them. Especially when they have welfare services behind them. Their rents are not high. They're on they live in a rent-controlled place. You know what I mean? It's even better for you to fire them because if you fire them, they get benefits. They get more. So yes, they a lot of. I don't want to say the community, but you know what I mean. Yes, so many unruly workers here in America. I don't know about London.
It's not very common in London from my experience. Yeah, younger people behave at work.
It's not even younger people, even older people.
Very at work. Yeah.
They'll say, write me up. I'm going to call my union rep. You write them up. And when they know you're short staffed, you don't want to fire people because when you're short, like now, healthcare industry is short staffed. You know what I mean? So you don't even want to fire anybody because there are no, this vaccine mandate. So many people not to even, because they don't want to take vaccine. They resigned or they left their job. So healthcare workers are suffering, at least in America, there's shortage of healthcare workers. So their bad behaviors is even escalating. Yes, I see it in the workplace. Yeah, for line workers, maybe not the management level, but for line workers, they are very unruly, very unruly. Yes,
Okay.
they bring it to work. They bring it to work.
Yeah. Anyway, in the absence of any other thing, generally, violence should not be tolerated.
At all.
No, it should not be tolerated. It doesn't matter where. It's good today we're talking about man-to-man violence and woman-to-man violence. Let's not even move to the trending gist in Nigeria, marital violence and all whatnot. We'll come to that at some point, obviously.
Yeah, but what about the violence you're showing me at this beginning of season 5? Each time I try to talk, you won't let me talk. So Teofoma even threw questions to the ladies. I was hoping for my turn. Oh, okay, no problem.
Hey,
conclude the show, no problem.
You know what? We'll suspend it for 10 years. We'll take away 5 of our projects.
Ifeoma, you are suspended.
Look at what you're doing to me.
Ifeoma, you are suspended. Ifeoma, you are suspended. You are suspended. For now, you are not going to cook throughout 2 months. You will not cook throughout 2 months. I will not eat. I will not eat your food for. I will not eat your food for 2 months.
That's not an
My
act
brother,
punishment.
can I appeal for her, please? Lift the suspension, please.
Oof, my God bless you. IJ,
Okay.
Oche is your turn to see. Who's my ask her? Ask her personally, please. I'm sorry.
I'm not talking again. I'm talking. You know, I'm the youngest one, so I can afford to make face. And
okay. OJ, go ahead and talk. You have go ahead, talk. Don't just forgive her.
Since Benson said I should talk, I'll talk.
I'm sorry, baby.
Okay. I think if he didn't bother to ask me because she knows that my response is the same, that nothing changes, whether I am at work or at home. There's no way I was going to let that happen. No way. And for starters, I don't think I would be so, because I am a very sensitive person. So it would be difficult for me to say something very insensitive that would make somebody that mad at me. Okay. But let's assume that, okay, a chance my mouth drove rough and someone is that agitated.
Can this mouth of yours never drive rough?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
That would be
depending on who I'm dealing with.
but as the mouth is driving rough, you already forgiven her straight.
And because I will also be on the begging side. Okay, the moment I realize that I have done something wrong, okay, I'm gonna start begging. So given such circumstances, even if I was at work and something like that happened, there's no way. In fact, my reaction would have been, I wouldn't have waited for the next day to put out a statement, because what Chris did was to make a joke out of the thing. He didn't even apologize. It was the next day after the social media buzz that he started saying, oh, you know, but I wouldn't have waited for the next day. I would have started there and then to apologize for what I did wrong.
Will or Chris?
Chris.
You meant to say Will.
She's talking about Chris.
Oh, Chris. Oh,
I'm talking about Chris. Okay. Will apologized that night with tears, actually.
Without, not Chris, to the academy and everybody.
But he didn't mention Chris.
Nah, he didn't mention Chris.
And a lot of people hailed him for not mentioning Chris.
OJ, in your opinion, which of them was the victim? Was it Chris or Will?
No, Chris was the victim. In as much as I don't like him and his jokes. For that night, he was the victim.
Yeah.
And until tomorrow, I'm still a fan of Will Smith.
Me too.
Okay. That I'm a fan of his doesn't mean I have to condone when he did something wrong. I don't like him and his jokes. For that night, for this particular incident, he was wrong. Okay. Whatever pushed him, because if I was in his shoes, he could have sat down there to shout back.
The eye where they look and push him more.
Exactly, true. But
very strong pair of eyes.
This is an eye that has been looking him for years.
Exactly.
You don't want to tell me that started that thing that night.
The man talking understands where he's coming from, and I can relate with him.
I agree.
But with women.
If you look very well, Jada has been giving this guy, tough time.
Oh, Jada.
Yes. I don't think she started eyeing him that night.
No, but
So
she,
it could have been in his shoes.
The eye eyed him that night was a different eye from the one she has been
A Grammy eye.
hello,
Because
OJ. We knew what was going to come to him at home if he didn't react then. We are men.
And,
We know what
okay, at this point in time, does he have peace of mind? He still doesn't have it.
That's why I said he didn't take the honorable part. He should have thought before raising his hand and use his power.
To be honest with you, if I was Will or his wife, if Will was getting up, I would have held him back. In fact, the camera would have seen us struggling because I would try to pin him down on the seat.
No, at that point.
And if really it was Jada that was pushing him, if Jada had tried to stop him, he wouldn't have.
But Will is not a violent person, so nobody thought nobody Will was.
Yeah, maybe so many might think.
Everybody thought Will, when people saw Will stand up and go, people thought he was going to just act stupid like he normally acts, but he's not a violent person. So I don't know what got into him. But he's not a violent person.
What got into him is what has been getting into him from the house for a long time.
No, but he's not violent from the house, so there's no way Jada. And if you look at the setup of the thing, there was a table between them. So you know what I mean?
You know this kind of thing,
I think
it's accumulated tension. Accumulated tension that boomeranged that day.
I believe that. Yeah, I believe that.
So these are things that have been.
Into his past. He said something about him being there while his mother was assaulted by his father, and he did nothing to defend her as a young man.
So that day he felt like doing something, but he went about it the wrong way.
People grew up with trauma. A lot of people grew up with trauma. That's
I think his father is still alive. He could have gone to retaliate, not to come.
No, he has.
I condemn his
dad died, but he spoke to his dad before his dad died. Yeah.
And I condemn his every action, but those are the excuses he's giving so far. So
thank you very much. Yeah, we can, if we have the time, we could do an overtime again. But just rounding up today's show, it's been a common thing, the ones we know, the ones we do not know, about people reacting. For those who don't agree with it, we call it overreacting. But for people that agree with them, it's a reaction at the back of an action.
But you know that
Go ahead.
Yeah, being an adult, one of the attributes of an adult is being able to manage your emotions. Yeah, and growing up, or once you're grown as an adult, that's one of the messages that they want you to pass down to the younger ones. As an adult, you have to teach the younger ones how to behave. Unfortunately, the two incidents we mentioned on today's show, but as about on around adults whom we look up to, we should have expected to behave differently. So bottom line, let's learn to control our emotions as much as we can, and let's learn as well not to upset each other. Exactly. Let's be mindful of what we say. Again, that means that we live in a world where everybody is very uptight because you don't know what to say to offend the other person. But again, there are other ways we can have fun and be happy around each other without being insensitive and without upsetting the other person. And those who have been upset or who has been offended, we plead when you're in a public place, even when you're in private, because what you hide in public and exhibit in private could cost you more harm than it would have when you've done it when done outside. So let's try as adults and the children who are the younger ones who are growing, who are coming up. Please, let's try and control our emotions, and let's try and mind what we say. That is this campaign in the NHS in UK, mindfulness. It talks about so many things. So, and this is one of them. Be mindful of what you do, what you say, and where you say.
If I'm as concluding, I will just say something.
Go ahead.
I'd